Hi everybody, Healthy Prepper here. Today's topic is going to be a what-if scenario. What if you were not at home? Let's say you're driving around in your car and all of a sudden there is a national SHTF event that occurs. Say for example an EMP, electromagnetic pulse, occurs, and this knocks out the grid. Cars are no longer drivable. You're driving along, all of a sudden your car stops and you can't go anywhere. My first choice would be to still get home. I do carry a bug-out bag in the vehicle, and let's say you have a bug-out bag in your vehicle, or you have at least a few small supplies. Maybe you have a weapon, you might have a little bit of water, a small amount of food, maybe a life straw or what have you not, or you have a full-blown bug-out bag. Next course of action is to get to a safe place and obviously find out if your friends and family are okay. Now, let's say you make it, possibly on foot, back home. Let's say you were just out shopping or something. Okay, you've made it back into your neighborhood, and you suddenly look around and you realize that your neighborhood is no longer safe to be in. Let's say either a catastrophe, your neighborhood may have been ground zero for the catastrophe, or let's say for some reason civil unrest has broken out and it is not possible for you to safely return back to your house. What are you going to do as an alternative form or means of shelter immediately? And I've thought about this often. Basically, where would I go and what would I do? And I thought about a few ideas here, and I just want to toss them out there to see what you guys think, and also get your ideas and opinions on what would you do. Okay, so I always thought about this in the back of my mind, that if I could get to a public park where there is one of those bathrooms with a locking door. It's like a freestanding cement building that has a bathroom. It has a lockable door. I have a water source. I have a bathroom facility. I can keep myself protected from the elements, from invaders, because I've got a lockable door and I've got cement walls. I thought that might not be a bad place to head to. We've got a lot of parks in our area. I should be able to find one where I can hole up. Now, a couple of thoughts against this idea were when I started to explore the plumbing and the issues when plumbing no longer works and the backup of gaseous fumes that can come from the sewer pipes. I thought to myself, my little safety park bathroom might not be so good once the sewer gases start to back up in the actual bathroom housing itself. So I wasn't quite sure that would be the best place to go. Another place I had that was an idea when I was thinking about random places to go if you could not get back to your main place. Now, of course, if you have a bug-out location and you have it fully fleshed out and you're trying to get there, that's another thing. But let's say you don't, or your bug-out location is just too far away, or you want to get a temporary location until you can get to your bug-out location. Where would you go? Obviously, there's going to be a certain amount of chaos and craziness going out on the street. So you're going to want to lay low and travel quietly, shall we say. And you don't want to make a scene. You don't want to make it look like you have any supplies, and you want to get yourself to a safe shelter so you can re-strategize what you're going to do from that point. One place that came to mind was a library. Apparently, libraries are going to be the least expected place for people to hole up. A lot of people are going to, obviously maybe take over small convenience stores and gas stations and places where there is an abundance of resources. Groups might try and take over Walmarts or Home Depots, whatever have you, where they've got a lot of goods and supplies and food and things like that. But then so will everybody else. So there's going to be a lot of potential violence or chaos and civil unrest in these areas. And what you really want to do, in my opinion, is minimize your risk from that. And hopefully you have enough on board with you to give you at least 3 days worth of survival food and water until you can get yourself to a better location or into a better situation. So, you know, I ask you to think about what you're doing on a daily basis, because odds are, if something happens, we're all going to get caught in a situation where we're doing our normal daily chores or routines. Are you, you know, when you go out, do you go to work? Do you go to shopping? Do you go, you know, bowling? I mean, whatever it is, think about your weekly routine and think about if something happened while I was in that situation and I could not, for some reason, return to my home base, what would I do? And if I had to get immediate, secure shelter in my local area, have I looked around to see what different areas or what different shelters might be available to me? You know, some people think about storage facilities, you know, like those self-service storage places where you can, you know, put a lot of stuff, but you can also hole up in there if you had to. You only have one main door that usually works like a garage door, open and close at the one end, and that might be a way that you can protect yourself anytime you want to, you know, then you're not attackable from many sides. So I'd like to hear what other ideas you might have out there on places that would be a good place to hole up for 2 to 3 days if need be. You might also consider just being the free wanderer. I mean, maybe the concept is not to hole up. Maybe it is to stay unrestricted and not tied down to any building. Maybe you want to be hiding in the woods. Maybe you feel it's safer to be, you know, free of any confines so that you cannot be cornered, so you cannot be attacked as easily that way. Or maybe you feel it's safer to hide in plain sight. Maybe go with the crowds, but stay on the periphery of the crowds. Don't look too obvious, just kind of observe, skittle along the side, and make your way that way. So anyway, I would love to hear from you, your thoughts on what would happen if you were not home, if you were not at your main base, and something happened and you got back to main base and you could not re-enter it securely or safely and you had to hole up for 2 or 3 days somewhere else. Where would you go? And this would be a national SHTF situation where the entire country is dealing with the same issues you are. So it's not like, well, I just go over to my friend Joe's because his might be fine. Which, you know, could be a potential alternative, absolutely, depending on where the focus of chaos is in your town. Possibly there are areas that are still not going crazy and it may be safer to go there, but then would those people welcome you? You know, would it be safe to enter them? Would they perceive you as a threat just because you're coming? So just rolling around this in the head, wondering what your thoughts are. What would you do if? There you go, folks. I can't wait to hear your thoughts and ideas, and I certainly always appreciate them because you guys give me so many wonderful things to think about. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Take care. Happy and healthy prep and all.